Welcome back, Truth Seeker. September 7th, 2018. It is the 22-year anniversary of the shooting of Tupac Shakur, who would die 6 days later, September 13th. And in the news, we have a dead rapper, Mac Miller, who was 26 years old. Tupac was just 25 when he died, slightly younger. Notice, Mac Miller, his birth name was Malcolm James McCormick. In the language of gematria, gematria is the ancient practice of coding numbers into words, which comes from Kabbalah, which has the core belief that God created the world by merging the letter with the number. In this code, his birth name sums to 79. Also in this code, the word murder equals 79. And today's date, September 7th, can be written 7/9. 22 years ago, Tupac Shakur was nearly murdered. The thing about 79 and 22 is 79 is the 22nd prime number. These numbers have a relationship. So here we are on the 22-year anniversary, and I want to revisit the death of Tupac Shakur in case you have not read my book, Letters and Numbers. The longest chapter in that book is Murder by Numbers, and I cover the death of every famous celebrity you've ever heard of, plus more. Every rapper, every musician, every actor, actress, politician, every suspicious death you've ever heard of in the media, it's in that chapter and more guaranteed. So Tupac Shakur, 22 years ago. Let's look at this. Again, in gematria, murder equals 79. Now understand, there are 4 base ciphers in gematria, meaning each word will have 4 numerical outputs, and all of them are relevant. I made a video earlier today about the death of Mac Miller, and I taught how all 4 of the relationships with the word murder connect to Mac Miller. So, murder in the most straightforward cipher, A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, D is 4, up to Z is 26, murder equals 79. There's another cipher where you flip the alphabetic order around. You make Z1 and you count back to A is 26. Death sums to 97. September 7th can be written 7/9 or 9/7, like 79, 97. The word death in the base ciphers also sums to 25. That's when you flip the alphabetic order around and use the rules of numerology on each letter. 97 is the 25th prime number. Tupac died at age 25 after getting shot on September 7th. And notice, from his birthday to the day he died was 83, or excuse me, not the day he died, but the day he was shot was 83 days later. The song Murder by Numbers came out in the year 83. It's about how killing people is as simple as A, B, C, 1, 2, 3. When you flip the alphabetic order around, you make Z1 and you count up to A is 26, murder is 83. Mac Miller, who just died, he just released his last studio album on August 3rd, a date that can be written 8/3. Parallels, 22 years apart. Tupac Shakur would go on to die September 13th. 13/9, like 139. Tupac Shakur, 139. Who controls the record industry? Freemasonry. Freemasonry, 139. Freemasonry abides by this code of letters and numbers. Tupac's birth name was Tupac Amaru Shakur. With the alphabetic order and rules of numerology, his full name sums to 58. Like Freemasonry, like secret society. The reason I put Huey P. Newton up here is because he's the founder of the Black Panther Party. Tupac's mother was a Black Panther. They were established in Oakland. With the alphabetic order, Oakland equals 58. If you missed my work years ago, I guaranteed the Super Bowl would be Broncos over Panthers in the Bay Area. Cam Newton with the Black Panther on the side of his helmet in the Bay Area. Cam Newton became the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl. All things I was talking about before that Super Bowl came around. Told you why number 58, Von Miller, would be the MVP too, way before the game was even played. Way before the Super Bowl was even set. Von Miller drafted right after Cam Newton. You learn this code, you will learn things about this world. Freemasonry controls the entertainment industry, from music to movies to sports to your nightly news to your government, and they do everything by this code. Tupac was killed in 96. It was a big Masonic ritual. Freemason with the alphabetic order, 96. Yesterday, September 6th, It was a 96 ritual. See the videos I put out yesterday. Non-stop 96 show. Burt Reynolds' full name equals 96. Dead on that date. Anyhow, Tupac, he put out his last studio album February 13th, 1996. And it looks like I forgot to put the slide in here, but from February 13th, 1996 to the day he died, September 13th, check this out. All Eyes on Me came out February 13th. He died September 13th, 1996. The day he died was 213 days later. That album came out 2/13, February 13th. His cause of death was a drive-by shooting and the complications from it. Drive-by shooting, 213. Big number on Black History as well. Black History Month equals 213. Black Panther equals 213. And there's a lot more to that list. But just understand, it's no coincidence that his album came out on 213 and then he died 213 days later. Think about the song Regulators by Warren G. 213, the LA area code. The lyrics about you know what's up with 213. 213 is the number of death and killing over the years. In the Satanic cipher, death equals 213. And right after Tupac died, the album Makaveli was released by the numbers. And understand, in my book, Letters and Numbers, I get way more thorough on this. There is so much more than what I'm showing you, but I'm just trying to give you the gist of this. This is the beginner intro. The release of Makaveli was all synced up with his death. I'll save that for the book. It's linked in the description of every video. But look at this. Tupac on the cross. Makaveli, a play on Machiavelli. When they released the news of the death of Tupac's mother, they released the news of her death on the real Machiavelli's birthday, and not coincidentally. But anyway, Tupac. Let's just go through this. In the base cipher, Tupac, when you flip the alphabetic order around, 74. Makaveli, when you use the alphabetic order, 74. Rapper, when you use the alphabetic order, 74. Rhymes, when you flip it around, 74. Songs with the alphabetic order, 74. Jesus, 74. Cross, 74. Killing, 74. Masonic, 74. Gematria, 74. English, 74. With regards to Jesus, you should know using the alphabetic order, Messiah is also 74. So is Gospel, so is Parables. When you flip the alphabetic order around and use the rules of numerology, Jesus Christ is 74. Tupac, he wasn't just on the cross in the Makaveli album. He did a song called Smile with Scarface. So all this is covered in the book in greater detail. But in that music video, Smile, he's on the cross as well. And you know, Tupac's last music video before his death was I Ain't Mad At Ya, where he was in heaven. You know? Predictive programming. All Eyes on Me has that gematria 47, by the way. February 13th, the day the album released, has that gematria 223, like the Synagogue of Satan, also like Masonic. And with regards to these things happening on September 7th, which is also Eazy-E's birthday, another man murdered by the numbers, covered in my book. September 7th is the day that leaves 115 days left in the year. Masonic equals 115, killing equals 115. JFK was killed on a date with 115 numerology in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a Freemason. The day JFK was killed was also a date with 96 numerology. You know, Freemason. The rituals are repetitive. So, no coincidence that 22 years after the shooting of Tupac, we get the death of Mac Miller. And if you come to gematrinator.com, you can get the ciphers, the 4-base ciphers. If you go to calculator, you type in a word here. It'll give you the 4-base ciphers. Mac Miller's dead today, 7/9, September 7th. Today has 34 numerology, 7 plus 9 plus 18. His studio album came out August 3rd. His last album, 8/3 or 3/8. The 4-base ciphers, they're all relevant, alphabetic order forwards and backwards. So you get the 4-base ciphers here. The other thing you get are number properties. You want to know if a number's prime, you just type in the number, hit get properties, it'll tell you. 79, yes, it's prime, it's the 22nd. Rapper ritual. See how this works? You know, when Prodigy from Mobb Deep died at age 42, down in Vegas where Tupac was shot, right after Tupac's birthday, and the weekend that they released All Eyes on Me, that wasn't any coincidence. Tupac had the song rapping about him, talking about his sickle cell. Prodigy died from sickle cell the day after Sickle Cell Awareness Day. You see how sick these riddles are? Murder by Numbers. It's a song, it's a movie, it's a TV show, and it's in my book, Letters and Numbers. Over 150 pages, just the chapter on murder by numbers. The entire book's 773 pages. Longest chapter's Murder by Numbers. And the reason why is because there's so many people who've been killed by this code. And like I say in that book, price the thing for $5, dirt cheap, even though it took me 5 years to write, because everyone deserves to know this code, and when enough people know, we can bring this to an end. The way to bring this to an end is to end Freemasonry. The secret societies have to go. They have too much influence in this world. They're too sick. This is what they do. You know, among many other terrible things. They rig your elections. They pretty much rig everything about this world. You know? It's not an exaggeration. So we'll leave it there, Truth Seeker. Until next time.